You are listening to Larry Conners, USA.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
This is Larry Conners USA. Larry Conners USA.
We have had an unprecedented action, an assault, an insurrection against our government, an assault on the Capitol building, which is an assault on the Congress on a day that the Constitution required us, by the Constitution, to validate the work of the Electoral College. So this was not just any day of the week. This was a constitutionally required day of action for Congress. So I can say, the Republicans will say what they will say. Our select committee will seek the truth. It's our patriotic duty to do so. And we do not come into our work worried about what the other side, who has been afraid of this. Maybe the Republicans can't handle the truth.
Really? Republicans can't handle the truth? House Minority Speaker, I should say House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, majority, of course. This is July 26, 2021. There's Nancy Pelosi again spouting off about everything patriotic. Everything patriotic. And we are patriotic. And Republicans, conservatives, can't handle the truth about what happened January 6th. It was wrong. I've said it previously. I'll repeat it every time it comes up. It never should have happened. You cannot blame Trump for it, as they're trying to. And that's the whole point of this House Select Committee investigation. They're not interested in the truth, as she says, as we say in the opening. Can you handle the truth? Nancy Pelosi cannot handle the truth. We're going to break that story down for you because what we have, Nancy Pelosi, let me give you a clear example where she stands on the truth. The committee, in such cases, these investigative committees are supposed to be comprised of an equal number of Democrats and Republicans. Well, each leadership gets to choose their members that go on the committee. Congressman Jim Jordan of Ohio was chosen, as was Congressman Banks of Indiana. They were both put on that committee. Pelosi killed it, kicked them off. Too partisan. She said they're too partisan. They were all in for Trump all the time. They're too partisan. As if the other members on her committee that she appointed as Democrats, they're not partisan? Are you kidding me? We're supposed to buy that? Oh, yeah, you are. Swallow hard. Do it. We're not going to. We're going to fight back on that issue. That's still to come. Later, also, D.C. crime out of control. In fact, to the point where the chief of D.C. went on a rant because of what's happening. And he says you can talk about police reform. Maybe we need some. But the real issue is the community of thugs.
We have to own it, because if not, we see more of this. We see more of this in our communities. And then what happens? When someone's shot, people are outraged by it. I'm outraged every time. Every of those 922, a lot of those 198 that died of that, I stood over many of those. Many of them.
He stood over the bodies of many of those killed in D.C. You're going to want to hear more from that police chief coming up a little bit later. And masking up again. Restrictions being placed in various cities and counties, St. Louis City, St. Louis County being among them, and elsewhere across the nation. Oh, I know you've had a vaccine. Well, they say, no, you still have to mask up again. The whole damn idea of getting the vaccine was supposedly you're not going to have to wear a mask. Some chose to get the vaccine, some didn't. But if you chose to take the vaccine and you got the vaccine, now they're going back and saying, oh, you're also still going to have to wear a mask. And they're all concerned about the Delta variant. Say there's all kinds of super spreading going around. Where is the biggest source of super spreader? And what's being done about it? What would be the biggest source? Illegals. We're going to break that down for you. You got school districts and teachers hiding CRT from the parents. critical race theory teaching, they don't want the parents knowing. And in fact, in some cases, they're telling students, don't tell mommy. You want to hear that story. And what do you know about Bitcoins? You own any? Think about getting into them? Valuable? Good to invest in? Or maybe lose a lot of money? How do you get started? What should you avoid? Bitcoin Ben will be joining us a little bit later. He has a massive site, thousands of followers, giving advice and information on a constant basis. Yes, he sells Bitcoins, but I'm really interested in some of his information about them and how they do get started and what happens. Also, thanks to Frank Bravery for filling in the other day. Lock and load, ready on the right.
You can email Larry at LarryConnersUSA@gmail.com. LarryConnersUSA@gmail.com.